I wasn't born bad. I played football in vacant lots. I jumped hopscotch on broken glass-filled pavements. I ran track in my brother's worn-out sneakers. And as I recall, I was put back in school because I spelled equality, beginning it with I-N instead of E. So today I sit confined to time, just wondering what went wrong, because I wasn't born bad. Maybe. 31 years ago, I wrote that poem while laying in a hospital bed, recovering from my psychological and emotional wounds. I, like many of the people in my neighborhood, were conditioned to accept things that should not be normal for kids. At the age of 12, watching a good friend get murdered, it was only the beginning of others. By 14, our house was set on fire by the landlord. 2 of our family friends died in that fire. I went to school homeless. For 2 years, I was homeless, smelling like smoke, living in welfare hotels. But thank God for the benefit of the Salvation Army and Goodwill and those organizations, of which now I sit on the advisory board in my neighborhood for the Salvation Army. By the age of 20, I was carjacked on my way to a medical program at University of Medicine Dentistry. It was only the start of other incidents that I was there to witness as a boy growing up in Newark, New Jersey. Just as we normalize situations and circumstances that we see every day in our community, it is not right. Back then, the services weren't readily available, or to my knowledge, or to my parents. Recently, I did a speech over at one of the high schools, and I made a parallel to the boys who came home when I was a kid. They were considered boys years ago, but they were young men who went into the war, the Vietnam War. And 20 years later, they talk about post-traumatic stress disorder. But I'm here to tell you that in the inner cities across this country, the stuff that those kids go through every day is post-traumatic stress disorder. Whether it's at the home or their way to school with bullying and other issues that they encounter. Whether it's in school with the lack of books and lack of resources that is needed for them to succeed. During my worst period, I hated my life. And I didn't know if I wanted to die versus just wanted to end my pain. It took the services of organizations similar to D.D. Hurst back on the East Coast in Newark, New Jersey, or that area of New Jersey where I'm from, who provided me with counseling. And so it was important that as I ascend into certain areas of success, that I not forget where I came from. It was services similar to the work that you're doing here on the West Coast, that D.D. Hurst is providing in this Los Angeles County, that I was able to benefit in the East Coast. I am grateful for Dr. Shelley Niederback. So it's no accident that in this movie, Beyond the Silence, her likeness is portrayed throughout the movie. It's no accident that I'm standing here today healthy, not only because of a Shelley Niederback, but because of family members, because of people like you who find it not robbery to give to others. I always said when I died, I want to leave empty. I don't want to, well, we can't take anything, so I want to die empty knowing that I gave my all. And that's my challenge to each and every one of you here tonight. Die empty. Give it all. Do what you can for others. I have a phrase that says, leave more than you take. And that's about giving of your service to something greater than yourself. Not only was there therapy and treatment, because that's a must that we must have as consumers of mental health services, and now as an advocate, it's a must that we have the mentorship. And so I had Dr. Shelley Niederback, Dr. William Howard Griffith, I had Ben Jones and Alita Caldwell. And just here it is, I'm riding high and I'm telling stories through my books, what's in your bag, and unpacking one item at a time, and movies Beyond the Silence. Here comes Bill Duke, who found it not selfish of himself to give to me, somebody who had already succeeded at so many other odds. So I'm grateful tonight. I'm grateful for the work that D.D. Hurst is doing here and the example that they're setting across this nation. Where else do you hear about a 24-hour hotline for suicide prevention, where you have bilingual full-timers who's there to walk you off the bridge? I wish I had that. Where else do you find the services that they're doing here? So I'm appreciative to Dr. Curry, wherever she is in this room. You know, her leadership is really setting a standard in this community of mental health. And I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for people who didn't find it robbery to invest in just that one extra person. And I know my time is running up. Oh, it isn't good. Say no. I'm not going to do that to you. But I just want to, before I take my seat, acknowledge the football player, the brother, and the NFL Players Association for the work they're doing in professional sports. I want to talk about Alec Bouye, who says you bend but don't break in his new song, but many of us have broken. I want to acknowledge the chef, father, and son. I saw their movie 3 times. I've become very successful in business, and now I hire people with mental health issues. And here I wear the lapel pin of the organization that I'm affiliated with, the Mental Health Association of Essex and Morris. But I say to all of you, wherever you are, start where you are. You can help save a life. And with the chef brother, Mr. Chef and his son, you know, I said I did your movie 3 times. But what I did, I bought 50 tickets, and I paid for my employees and our consumers for that week to go see the movie because of what it did for me. And so in closing, while we're dressed in our suits and looking cool, and the ladies are looking beautiful in your dresses, D.D. Hurst's mission doesn't end tonight. And while you're out here looking good, dig in your pockets. And I know I'm singing to the choir, you did your auction and you did some of this other stuff, but it doesn't stop tonight. They need your support next week and the following week. They need your philanthropic endeavors and your goods, your resources. So as I go back to the East Coast, I'm gonna wear with pride my plaque here, and I'm gonna hang it high on my mantle so that everyone would know that D.D. Hurst exists and that they're saving lives. Thank you for your time, and God bless you.